Hello ladies and gents, PepperBelly here, bringing as your free weekend analysis for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Is it worth buying? Is it shitty? Is it Call of Duty-ishy? Well, yes, because it is Call of Duty, but things are a little different because now they actually have exosuits in the game. I'm pretty sure most of you guys are very aware of this because the game's been out for quite some time. So why do I need to explain it to you? Unless, of course, you've been living under a rock, which then you should probably go back because this video isn't going to make you want to go and buy the game suddenly. Quite the contrary. It's going to make you kind of think, maybe I should avoid it because it's just weird. Now, some of you guys that have been following my channel for quite some time are probably well aware of the fact that I really enjoy Titanfall. Now, obviously there's some similarities between the two games, but ultimately they are different. And I can tell you this because I actually don't like Advanced Warfare that much, but I thoroughly enjoyed and loved Titanfall. Now this mainly comes down to the movement and shooting mechanics and how it feels, and the responsiveness of both. Now I think Titanfall excels in hit detection, in the map design, and spawns in almost every single way. This game just lacks that in all those aspects, which is a damn shame. Because the core game mechanics are enjoyable, they're actually fun, but the execution is completely poor. So let's talk about the Exosuit. The Exosuit lets you basically traverse the environment at an accelerated rate that has never been seen in Call of Duty before. So you can double jump, you can dodge basically by jet boosting in either direction, you can do it strafing, you can do it backwards, you can do it forward so long as you jump first. And that's pretty much all it does. You can also slide on the ground, which is something I wish Titanfall had, because that would have made things a little bit more interesting. But that's pretty much it, and that's surprisingly enough to really change up the way the game actually feels. You know, people jumping everywhere, dodging, doing all this crazy stuff. It's something that's more unique, and it makes shooting a hell of a lot more challenging, because now you gotta hit moving targets that are moving at insane rates. Now the problem here is the fact that how fast the characters move. It's very important to have solid shooting mechanics that feel completely natural. So you're not like straining to shoot anybody, it's not super hard. You know, you want to have full control and fluid movements of your mouse as you're aiming, which the game has to a degree, but at the same time it's a little bit just finicky, it's kind of weird. And really good hit detection. Now the problem here mainly lies within the hit detection because it's so on and off and just strange and inconsistent that it really infuriates the player. Now, people are very aware of dying around corners. That is a problem in this game that is extremely infuriating, especially when you have exosuits which are supposed to be allowing you to have the ability to dodge in either direction. It's like, there's a lot of instances where you'll be running, getting shot at, you'll dodge behind the wall just to die in mere seconds after you're like clearly out of the line of sight of this guy. There's no possible way his angle he can shoot you, but it kills you. Because latency netcode issues. It's extremely frustrating when that happens. Because you're like, oh wow, I know I should have gotten away, but no. Like, so it's like the dodging mechanic feels nullified in that instance because what's the point if you're gonna dodge and the guy's bullets just seem to have a cone of fire that they just register randomly, sporadically, and sometimes they'll hit you, sometimes they won't. I know that sounds a little strange, the way I kind of just worded that, but basically it's on and off. There are a lot of instances where you'll be aiming at somebody, you'll pull a trigger, and it doesn't hit them on, even though your sight or your crosshair is perfectly on target and you're within range. This is strange, because usually Call of Duty never really has these issues, because Call of Duty's been known for insanely good hit detection, you know, hit scanning type ballistics that the game always had throughout the series, and really responsive tight controls. But in this game, it feels lackluster. It feels like there are just too many instances where I know I should have killed somebody, or I know I should have gotten out of the line of shot and survived, but you don't. And I've never experienced this in any other Call of Duty game up until this point. It just degrades the experience. It makes you feel frustrated, and that's not a good thing. And when you combine this with the fact that the respawn system in this game is probably some of the worst I've seen, like ever, and some people may argue the fact that it's not that bad, but when I literally clear an area on a map and turn to focus where the enemy should be coming from afterwards, and I get killed from the very spot I just finished clearing, by a player who happened to respawn like mere seconds after I just finished killing him, that is going to breed lots and lots of fueled blood, hatred, anger, because that shouldn't be happening. I've also experienced this from my side as well, so it's not just me complaining like, oh, I'm dying all the time, you know, like trying to be all biased, hating the game kind of thing. It's not merely out of anger or hatred for it, because I've actually experienced it on my end. There have been so many circumstances in which I would get killed from a player and immediately just spam F, spawn within seconds, and I'm within 30 feet of the guy who just finished killing me. And I'm able to avenge my own death. It makes no sense. I can just imagine, and I was always thinking in the back of my mind, I'm just like, wow, I can picture how pissed this guy is, because, and when you think about that in games, like, oh man, that guy must be mad, you know, you mad, bro? But, like, it would be justified, because the guy just killed me. Why does he have to worry about me immediately after he finished killing me in a zone that he just finished clearing? Because I spawned in the same zone. This also is an issue because there's so many players spread out throughout the map that obviously it's going to be natural that somebody is bound to spawn somewhere near a certain person, because just the way the players are all over the place. But not to this extent. Most games can get away with it and do a pretty good job. In Advanced Warfare, it's like people come back from the dead to bend you over your, grandfather's Cadillac and insert lead inside your rectum because, that's just how things go in this game. They come back to kill you and in full force without you really realizing because, hey, spawning behind me is cool. Right, spawn on my blind side. How awesome is that? And then get killed immediately afterwards. This is something I can't stand in games, and that's one of the major reasons why I just got so fed up with Advanced Warfare when I was actually playing it during the free weekend. And I actually couldn't wait to uninstall it because I was like, wow, this game took up so much space on my hard drive. I'm playing it for free to give it a full, thorough playthrough to really determine whether or not it is worth the purchase. And it's sad because when it first came out, I was really, really, like, I can honestly say, ecstatic to play this game. Strangely enough, I usually hate Call of Duty. I usually, talk bad about it all the time. I hate the demographic who follows it. I don't like, well, I'm not going to put it quite like that, but there are a lot of people that play this game that just are probably some of the worst. This game has a natural community that is filled with younger, immature, or even older, immature, just individuals who you don't really want to deal with. And, well, it still exists, they're still there, but ultimately Call of Duty, this one was the first one that actually made me go, huh, think twice, this actually looks fun, I want to play it. And I watched a lot of live streams, and I was really, into the idea of playing this game at some point in the future. Free Weekend gave me an awesome opportunity to do so, and then I realized that, oh, okay, yeah, it's all just smoke and mirrors. The game actually doesn't feel or play that good. It's not worth it at all, even if it was on sale for, $42 Canadian for me. To me, that's cheap, for a Call of Duty title, holy crap, that's pretty amazing. And even then, I still could not justify the purchase. I was not interested in getting this game in the slightest. Now, this is actually kind of a surprising realization that the only reason why I would even consider getting this game was mainly for the single player because, hey, Kevin Spacey's in the single player. Awesome! Kevin Spacey. That's the only reason why I would want to buy this game. And even then, I don't feel like spending the money for this title because once I'm done the campaign, and even if it's probably not good, who knows, right? But Kevin Spacey's in it, so it's gotta be good, right? Whatever. But that brings me to the next topic, which I was just saying in terms of the community that plays this game. The community that plays this game is just so bad. I know it sounds so, cliche to hate on, oh, Call of Duty players are such children, they're so young and stupid and just naive and ignorant and arrogant, all the things you can think of in the book to describe your hatred towards annoying people. But the problem is there's a lot of game types in this game that actually look interesting. A lot of game types. There are, there are what, 5-6 playlists just packed full of different type of game types? And they seem and sound interesting, and there were 13,000 people playing this over the weekend. give or take. It was constantly changing, obviously, right? 13,000 people, 99% of which were playing team fucking deathmatch. Nobody plays any other objective or game type. Nobody. I'd searched for every single possible game mode available, and I could not find a single game. It would probably put me in a lobby. It'll be like, oh yeah, let's look for domination or even ground war, which is basically team deathmatch on steroids at times. Let's look for game types and see if we can find a match for those game types. Right on. Oh wait, one match found? Awesome, maybe I'm gonna get to play it. Puts me in a lobby with one other person. And you're just sitting there thinking to yourself, wow, thank you, demographic that plays this game, for spamming only team deathmatch and being that fucking mundane. It's a pity, really, because all the game types you see available sound super compelling. Like, you want to play them. Can't think of any examples right now, and I can't boot up the game because, hey, free weekend's over, right? But man, everyone plays team deathmatch. That's the main focal point of this title, and it's such a shame. It really is. It's such a turnoff that people only play literally that. Like, there was no... I can't describe it. I'm actually being, like, completely serious. I'm being completely serious, guys. There's literally nobody playing any other game type. And with 13,000 fucking people, team deathmatch is all that everybody played. So naturally it's infuriating, because you're like, wow, okay, you know, I'm gonna have to play this really shoddy freaking game type. Just, okay, cool, let's just focus on killing each other. Typical Call of Duty mindset. Oh, just run around, chaotic bullshit, kill each other. That's all the game is. There's no... Man, even Titanfall had better objectives. Even though it was like, oh yeah, team deathmatch, essentially, attrition's team deathmatch. It was interesting, right? You got bots everywhere, you had titans. Things were just better, well made. The maps were so much better. And the maps in this game are insanely uninspired, and the fact that it's just like, oh yeah, okay, we're gonna just jump around a map shooting each other. It gets stale really quickly, guys. You know, like, the Exosuit's kind of an awesome idea at first, but then after a while, it gets so boring and so repetitive, just like every other Call of Duty title ever. At first, it's like, oh yeah, this is fun, and then over time, you just get sick of it. I was about to make like an analogy about like a wife or something, or your girlfriend, like, oh yeah, I love my girlfriend, she's fun at first, and then you realize that, oh, I just used her up and I'm bored with her, I want to sleep with other women. Not to say that, but it's not the same, because at least your girlfriend can care about you and doesn't treat you like some fucking piece of shit like Call of Duty Advanced Warfare does. So I don't know. I mean, ultimately, I didn't want to buy it, I didn't enjoy it. It has, like I was saying, the core mechanics are there, and they're fun, but the execution is poor, in my mind. It's like they could have done such a better job. If I were to say which title you should get, definitely get Titanfall, compared to, like, if I had to say the two, you know, oh yeah, I want to get Advanced Warfare or Titanfall. Absolutely Titanfall. It's like heads and tails, head over heels better than this game. And that's not me being biased, that's me, like, being from a purely objective standpoint. Titanfall is sincerely more fun and action-packed, and just runs significantly better than this game. And that's probably because Titanfall has dedicated servers, and this game doesn't. Which is probably the reason why all these issues are even apparent. Because you're running off of P2P, player-to-player, peer-to-peer networking, and it's just, man, I don't know. This game it has potential, but I don't know. It's too stale to me. I got bored with it insanely quickly, and the frustration was high. There are instances where you're like, you know, this is fun, but then it's just like, again, plagued with issues. I mean, if you like raging, by all means, get the game. Right? Some people like to feel the blood curdling coursing through their veins, and the hatred and the blood rising to your face as you're preparing to punch your wall vigorously until your knuckles bleed. But ultimately, if you don't like doing that, because, you know, it's not really good for your bones in your hands, and especially for your health, rage is not good, then definitely avoid this title. But I guess I'll finish the video talking about one of the things I actually can say is surprisingly good about this game. The weapons themselves. Because they're very interesting. The characteristics and the actual designs of every single weapon is interesting. They all behave differently. And they all have certain bonuses or certain attributes that contribute to the way they handle or behave that actually differs widely from the next. It's an excellent arsenal of weaponry. For example, the very first assault rifle you acquire in the game. The longer you hold the trigger down, the higher and faster the rate of fire gets. Then there's another assault rifle which I thought was actually, which I would say is my favorite weapon in the game. It's an assault rifle that fires the first 3 rounds, or I think it's the first 2 rounds, whatever. The first burst out of the weapon is fast, and then the rate of fire gradually slows down. So it's if you're engaging, say you get target acquisition, you line up a target, you fire off the first 3 rounds, it suppresses with really quick succession of rounds, and then it slows down for more controlled shots. And if you fire burst rapidly, then you'll just shoot rapidly, consistently throughout the entire magazine, which I thought that was very, very cool. And it's actually the weapon you're seeing right here. It's an interesting idea that every single weapon behaves like that. Like, they all have their own little characteristics that make them different from each other, and I think that's pretty freaking awesome. Now there's like the laser gun you're seeing there, the EM1, which is basically, it has unlimited ammo, but it's a heavy gunner weapon, so if you're thinking like light machine guns, it's in that arsenal, it's in that type of category. And it allows you to basically just spam laser beams indefinitely, but it overheats. And then there's the sniper rifle you're seeing right here, which is literally, you fire the first round, it's a normal round, it's actually an explosive round, but once you fire the second round near it, it detonates. Like, it's so much fun to just see a guy and you're like, oh, I'm gonna fire the first round and then shoot the second round and he explodes. Because the first, it's like a trigger, it's like having a detonator that the detonation device is actually the second bullet itself. It's like, and there's only 2 rounds per magazine. It's interesting, it's something I haven't seen before, and it's actually a ton of fun. It's probably one of the main attributes of this game I could say that makes this game insanely fun and worthy of playing to a degree. But all the other issues, if they were fixed, this game would definitely be worth a purchase. But as it stands right now, all those other issues just make me not think it is worth the purchase, and I would probably advise against it, unless of course you're absolutely in love with Call of Duty, and it seems like it really appeals to you. But again, all my opinion, take it with a grain of salt, because everyone's opinion of this game differs. So my name's been PepperBelly, thank you guys for joining me today. I know this was a long one, and I will see you guys on the next one.
Friendly UAV above.